Let's take a look at a state-by-state breakdown of the numbers. We can see here, if you take a look at those numbers of cases right across the country, that it is, we can see there, those total number of cases have gone over 6,100. It is levelling out somewhat, but this is not the time the government says to be relaxing at all. We can see that death toll there, still 51. New South Wales has clocked now 2,773 cases, more than double Victoria. That's ahead of Queensland as well. Those are the obviously most affected states in that they have the largest populations. WA and South Australia both sitting around the 400 mark. WA almost edging over to 500 now. Tasmania has passed that 100 mark with 111 cases there, as has the ACT, now crossing over to 100. The Northern Territory is still just 28, but obviously a lot of concern there for those remote Indigenous communities, which can be quite vulnerable in health crises like this. But also good to keep an eye on that recovered number. 2,900 people have come out the other side of coronavirus so far. Here's the curve across the country. Now, this is what authorities are watching to see if those physical distancing measures are working, and there's a lot of hope there. We can see yesterday just 85 new cases added. That's an extraordinary achievement considering it was just the 28th of March we had over 400 cases, and we can see that steady climb down there. The really strong message from authorities, as you heard there before, is to not let the Easter long weekend jeopardise those figures. Now, here's the situation right around the world. The number of cases is edging towards 2 million. The global death toll now exceeds 95,000. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's left intensive care and is reportedly still in good spirits. France's death toll has surged, taking the country's total above 12,000. New York suffered its deadliest 24-hour period for the third consecutive day. Another 6.6 million Americans have filed for unemployment over the last week, meaning coronavirus has wiped out 16 million American jobs in just 3 weeks. And the World Health Organization's warned of bed shortages across Africa as the virus spreads beyond urban centres. Now let's take a look at the number of new cases across the world, the obvious caveat being each country's different population. That's why we've been keeping an eye on this measure per million. That's really the most accurate way you can keep an eye on it. But if we do look at that raw figure, it is showing that the US is edging ahead, 27,000 cases there. France, 4,799. The UK, 4,000 there as well. Most of those European countries sitting on that. In Brazil, this is going to be another epicentre there with many issues with accessing health data, health resources in Brazil as well. If we check in on that figure now of the cases per million, that's the best indicator we really have of just how well each country is managing it. You can see Spain there not doing very well on that measure. Italy and Belgium both sitting in the 2,000s per million as well. France and the USA not too far off each other, which is interesting because the USA has probably had fewer clusters now, but they've certainly got a long way to go. And very good news there for Australia. We can see that per million, 239 cases per million, not bad at all.